Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another video. Today is August the 10th, Tuesday, August the 10th, 2021. Just here to let you guys know that I finally did get my back injection done today. Got my back injection done. It stung a little bit, more on the left side than it did the right side. Um, and they said to give it 2 or 3 days. They told me to give it 2 or 3 days. Right now, I'm noticing a little bit of a difference, but not much. They said that that would be normal to give it. So what I did was, they injected a steroid into my back, and they went on both sides of my spine and my upper buttock area. Um, so they're also trying to pinpoint exactly where, because I got the back pain and the sciatic nerve pain that's shooting from my buttock down to my legs, causing numbness and all that kind of stuff as well. So they're trying to target and pinpoint exactly where it's coming from in my spine. So if this doesn't work, then they're gonna actually go probably inject the medication into my spine next time, which is, I was so nervous. I mean, oh my God, I was so nervous. But it really wasn't that bad. I mean, um, it only took a few minutes, and it's like I said, it stung a little bit on the left side. Um, but hopefully, it said give it 3 days. Because right now I did some work around the house, and I'm still finding myself having to sit down and everything. But they said give it 2 or 3 days. I'm gonna come back and give you guys another update and let you know if it's really working for me. Because right now I can't stand for long periods of time. I can't walk for long periods of time. Even sitting for long periods. Even if I sit for long periods of time, my back will go to hurt. And if I sit for long periods of time, depending on where I sit, I have a recliner that I do everything in, and you know, I can pretty much sit in that chair for hours pain free. And now sometimes I get up in the morning, I'm a little achy, um, but depending on where I sit, you know, um, if when I sit for long periods of time, I'm having some pain, and I can't walk very far. And that's the frustrating part, is because I can't walk very far. Um, I I can barely get around the block without having to stop, and my leg is hurting and all this kind of stuff. So, and not only hurting but numbness, because I'm dealing with sciatic nerve pain. So that numbness is shooting down my leg, my left leg, and it, and the right leg too, and it's causing my leg to go numb, and so it affects every aspect of my life. It affects my ability to do housework. I have to take several breaks when I do my housework. Sometimes I have to sit down when I wash dishes, and can't walk for long distances, can't stand for long periods of time. So it has been very, very debilitating. It's been very debilitating dealing with this pain and everything in my back and everything. So what my hope is that with this injection I will be able to walk a little. I'll be able to walk further. Um, so because I want to be further while the weather's still nice. I want to be able to do more walking. I'm hoping that I will be able to walk further. I'm hoping that I will have a little bit more flexibility as far as doing housework and things like that around the house without having to take several breaks. Um, I'm hoping that I will be able to stand up at the sink and do my dishes without having to sit down on a chair. Or when I'm cooking, I can actually stand there and cut onions or do whatever I have to do without sitting down on a chair, because that's what I was dealing with. And so hopefully With this injection, it'll give me more flexibility. It will lessen some of the pain. I'm also dealing with varicose veins, so hopefully with this injection I will be able to walk further, stand longer, and it will alleviate some of my pain. Even if it doesn't take all of it away, but take a good portion of it away, and to where my legs are not going numb on me and things like that. So I'm going to come back on here and give you, because they told me to give it 2 or 3 days for that steroid medication to really get in there and start working. So I'm going to give you guys another update in a few days, let you know how it's working and everything. And I'm going to be looking at getting my hand surgery, scheduling my hand, because I have to have surgery on both of my hands. And I postponed it when that video I did, I was talking about my son's accident. He had a bad accident at work where a piece of the ceiling literally fell on his foot. So he had to have foot surgery, so I had to help him. I postponed my surgery on my hands so I can help him, because he couldn't, for a while there, he couldn't do anything. He couldn't, he had to elevate his leg and all that stuff, so I had to cook for him and things like that. So I postponed the surgery so I could help him out. He's on the mend at this point, so for the most part, I guess. He's still having some issues. But, he can get around. So I'm going to be looking at, within the next month or so, getting my hand surgery scheduled. I have to have both hands done, so I'm trying to debate on which one to do first. I want to do the left hand first because I'm right-handed. So I don't know, but they're recommending me to do the right hand first, because the right hand is a little bit worse than the left hand. But here lately, the pain in both hands has been getting worse. So I know that that's not something that I can keep putting off. And I'm the type of person, I'm a chronic procrastinator. And so when I don't want to deal with something, I just put it off. And I know that that's not going to help me. I mean, the doctor said if I keep putting it off, it can get worse, and I can lose feelings in my fingers and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want that to happen. I'm already kind of losing feelings in 2 of my fingers. The carpal tunnel in the left hand I've had it for a really long time, and it's just kind of coming to a head, to where it needs to be addressed, but I did postpone it because I wanted to help my son with his situation with his foot and everything. So I'm gonna have to look at getting, because right after I get one hand done, after 6 weeks after I get one hand done, then I'm gonna have to get my other hand done. So that's going to be quite an ordeal, and that's going to take a while. But I'll be keeping you guys posted, letting you guys know how I'm doing with the injection. I'm hoping and praying, crossing my fingers, and hoping and praying that it does make a difference. We'll see. That's only time will tell. I will be letting you guys know and keeping you guys updated. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know if you guys ever had a back injection. You ever had a steroid back injection into your back, or some people, I don't know. I think some people get it in their knee, but let me know how it did you. I've had some people say it works. The doctor said it varies. That he said that some people it works for a couple weeks, some people it works for a month, some people it works for months, whatever. He said it depends on the person. So I don't know. I just let me know in the comment section if you had it done, and um, how did you do? Did it help? Did it help with your back pain tremendously? Because like I said, they were talking about doing the surgery, and um, I don't want to do the surgery. I'm not comfortable with doing the surgery. I'm trying to get around doing the surgery. And these injections are only temporary. It's not a permanent. It's not going to fix my back, you know. Um, and they said even the surgery wasn't going to be a 100% guarantee. So I've heard so many horror stories of people getting back surgery done and it didn't help, or it got worse, or whatever, you know. We're talking about the spine. We're talking about the spine. If any slip up, it's a done deal. You could be paralyzed, or you know, or it's scary. It's a really big deal. You know, spine surgery is a really, really big deal. And because your spine is what. I think I hear gunshots. Oh Lord! But your spine is what holds you up. It's what holds you up. It helps you to walk, and so yeah, our spine is very, very, very important. And that's another thing I want to talk about is protect your spine. Protect your spine. Um, Protect your spine. You have a job where you have to do a lot of lifting and stuff like that, whether it's boxes or people or whatever. Protect your spine. Make sure you know you're using your knees when you're lifting. Make sure you're doing the proper procedure when you're lifting. And if you're in a situation where you work in healthcare and you have to do a lot of lifting, make sure you get someone to assist you. If you have to lift a patient, make sure you get someone to assist you in doing that lifting. Do not never try to attempt to do it by yourself, because that was a mistake I made on my last job. I was lifting by myself, and but I wasn't always able to get the help. You know, they were always short staffed, and I wasn't always able to get the help. And so it was a very, very complicated situation. It was a very complicated situation because sometimes I was able to get help, sometimes I wasn't able to get help. And, you know, I didn't want to get into a situation to where I was neglecting the resident. You know what I mean? I just wish that I would have communicated with my job more. If looking back in retrospect, if I knew then what I know now, I didn't realize how bad I really was. I wish I had communicated with my job more about my back issues and things like that. I wish I had them. And that's what I'm telling you guys to communicate with your employer. You know, if you're having some back issues and your job requires a lot of heavy lifting, make sure you communicate with your company and let them know that, hey, this is heavy. If you're working in healthcare and you have to lift, you know, you let them know, hey, I can't lift these people without assistance. I have to have assistance. Then that way, if something does happen to you, then you know you can come back on them with it. You can come back on them because you tried to tell them, you know, that if they don't get you the help that you need, and then something happens to your back, then you can come back on them. And that's where I messed up. I didn't communicate with my job as far as the problems that I was having with my back, the problems that I was having with my legs, and even my hands. Because at the time, it was, I didn't realize how bad it really was. I didn't realize how bad it really was. I think I was working on pure adrenaline. I think I was just going on pure adrenaline, you know. Um, and I didn't realize, how bad it really was, because I had no intentions of being off work for several months. And it was a situation to where I couldn't come back on them. I could not come back on them as far as workman's comp or anything like that, because I didn't communicate to them what my problem was, and insist that they make a requirement that someone come up and help me, because they didn't make it a requirement, because there was times, like I said, I wasn't able to get the help. And sometimes I was able to get the help. Sometimes I wasn't able to get the help as far as lifting, these people that I had to lift. And so that's what I'm telling you guys. I don't want you guys to make the same mistake. Protect your spine. You have to take care, and your legs and every part of your body. You have to take care of you, because at the end of the day, these jobs are not going to care. These jobs are not going to care if you hurt yourself or whatever the situation is like that. You're replaceable. They replace you just like that. Hell, they probably don't even remember my name. They probably don't even remember my name over there. You know what I mean? Because they go through so many people. So, but you have to. They're not going to care about you. You have to care about you. You have to care about you. And you have to put your health first. You have to put your body first. And you have to put your health first. Your health has to come first. Your body has to come first. And if your job requires a lot of heavy lifting, and you're having some issues doing that lifting because of your hands or your knees or your back, communicate with your employer. Communicate with them and let them know, hey, I need help. I need some assistance with lifting. Or sometimes it's lifting boxes. I've had jobs where I had to put up stock and things like that, and I had to lift heavy boxes and things like that. A lot of what happened with my back was cumulative. It was a cumulative type situation to where over a period of years, it just got worse and worse, but especially particularly when you're in your 40s and 50s, you have to watch your knees, you have to watch your hands, you have to watch your back, because that's when the aging process is really starting to take place in your body. And so, if it's too much for you, if the job is too much for you, then you need to possibly look into getting another job. Because at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. We only get one body. In this system, we only get one body. We don't get two. So you have to take care of your body, and you have to put your health first. And I didn't, I underestimated how bad I really was. And thinking about, I got to pay bills and this and that and do this and that and the other, and putting everything else before my health. And then I was put in a situation to where, I had to take a leap of faith, and I had to step out on faith. Because I had to think about my body first. I had to think about my health. And I had to put my health first. And now I didn't have no intentions of being off work this long. I didn't even know. Like I said, if I knew then what I know now, man, I really wish I would have communicated with my employer, because I'm just being honest with you guys. I didn't communicate with them like I should have. And now I can't come back on them for nothing. Don't make that same mistake. Communicate with your employer if you're having problems doing any part of the job as far as lifting and things like that. And if they ignore you and something happens to you, then you can come back on them because you tried to tell them. You know what I mean? So don't make the same mistake that I made. Because right now I don't have any. I can't come back on them. You know, I can't come back on them. I can't get workman's comp or anything because I didn't communicate with them, and I underestimated my health. I wasn't paying enough attention to my health. And you have to listen to your body. Our bodies talk to us. They talk to us, and they're telling us if you're on a job and your back is hurting, you having bad back pain every day, and every time you go to lift, your back is hurting, your knees is hurting, your hands or whatever is hurting. Okay, your body is talking to you. Your body is trying to tell you, stop doing this to me. Stop doing this. You know, and you're gonna have to make some decisions. Get a different job or whatever the situation is, or let you communicate with your employer. But you gotta put your body first. Protect your spine. Protect your knees. Protect your hands. Because once at least the knee goes out, you can get a knee replacement. I can't get a spine replacement. There's no such thing as a spine replacement. You can't get a spine replacement. So you gotta pay attention to your body, and don't take on work that, if you having issues with your back or anything on your body, don't take on work that's going to require lots of heavy lifting. You know, because it's really been, over the last few months, it's really been hard for me. It's really been very, very difficult for me, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. The things that I've been going through over the last few months, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm thinking about all the money that I could have been making that I'm not able to make, and it's very, very frustrating. It's very, very difficult. You know, Jehovah God has been making a way, and I thank Him every day for that. But it's difficult. It's difficult. You know, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And so I didn't have any intentions on being off work this long. I didn't. But if I had, like I said, if I know now, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things a lot differently. Put it that way. I would have did things differently. I would have communicated more